Good morning, gang. Happy Thursday morning. Okay, yesterday was fun, huh? I mean, we'll just touch on this for 10 seconds. No money for the hurricane victims, yet we gave another $450 million to Ukraine yesterday. Just want to put that out there. Okay. That's not the point of where I'm going. Just wanted to let you know in case you didn't see it. So, if you had the stomach to watch the interview with Kamala Harris last night done by Bret Baier on Fox, congratulations. I sat through it. It was hard. It's hard listening to her anytime. I'm going to give you my analysis of it as independently as I can, okay? It's no secret which side of the fence I sit on. I wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris if she was the last person on earth. But I kind of want to go at this objectively. And I want people to think, could she run the country? Now, there's a lot of talk about Bret Baier being a never-Trumper, that he was probably going to go easy on her in this interview. The outlook for how this interview was going to go beforehand was not exactly like it was going to be hard-hitting. Bret Baier kind of shocked some people yesterday. He actually did what a journalist was supposed to do. He asked questions and he followed up on answers. So let's get into this. First off, the interview was supposed to be 25 to 30 minutes. And it was supposed to start at 5 o'clock. It was taped for a 6 o'clock showing. So they had a quick turnaround. Kamala Harris was late, 15 minutes late, okay? Not exactly something that the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military should probably do. Those of you guys that are ex-military know when a formation is called for 5 a.m., you better be there at 4:45, okay? You know, the old saying in the military was you're either 15 minutes early or you're late. She was 15 minutes late, okay? Just a point, just how to start. So she couldn't even show up on time. Imagine that in a meeting with other political leaders, okay? So they started right off into questions. And we got into one on transgender surgeries for prisoners. She deferred. She couldn't answer the question. They went into questions on the Remain in Mexico policy that the Biden-Harris administration overturned on day one. And she deferred. She couldn't answer the questions. It got very interesting when they started asking her about the direction the country was going. And Bret Baier posted a graphic saying 79% of the country thought we were headed in the wrong direction. I mean, that's more than 3 out of every 4 people, guys. And her answer was when he said 3/4 of the country think we're headed in the wrong direction, and you've been in office for 3.5 years. And she goes, well, Trump's running for president. No, lady, you can't go back with this decade stuff and say it's all Trump's fault. Barack Obama tried that for 8 years, and in the 7th year of his presidency, he was still blaming George Bush. Okay. Kamala Harris is trying to blame Donald Trump for all the bad decisions that the administration in which she was second in command of made. It got worse when she was asked a question and Bret Baier pulled a clip and said, oh, we asked Mr. Trump that this morning in Harris Faulkner's town hall about him wanting to, quote unquote, lock up people that disagreed with him. And Trump basically said there was no truth to it. Okay. Again, it was Kamala Harris making stuff up. She got visibly angry that she was called out right there to her face with video evidence of lying. She started yelling. She kept talking over Brett Baer. She pulled out the constant Kamala Harris, "I'm talking here" comment. She even got so bad as to pull out the suckers and losers hoax. She lied or refused to answer the question, basically, the entire interview. Her only policy through the whole thing was, "I hate Trump." She'd ask a question. She said many, many, many times, my plan. And when Brett Baer kind of pushed her on it, like, what is your plan? It was, "I hate Trump." She doesn't have any plans. This is the problem. You can say the word plan all you want, but tell us what it is. At the end of the interview, she said, "Oh, you can go onto KamalaHarris.com and you can read my 80-page plan," that most of it was copied from the Joe Biden platform, except she's not Joe Biden. When she was asked what she would do different, again, after showing the quotes twice where she said, "There's nothing I do different," she deferred on that question. Her deflection all night was ridiculous. Her composure was arrogant and rude. This is somebody who, if elected, would have to sit down with Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, potentially the Ayatollahs, Benjamin Netanyahu. She'd get obliterated in negotiations. She can't keep her cool. If things don't go her way, she gets visibly angry and starts referring to talking points. Miss Word Salad was all over the place yesterday. You could see in her body language, she'd look up to the right, which is a telltale sign that people are trying to remember talking points or trying to formulate a hypothetical situation, come up with a lie. This happened over and over and over again in the interview last night. It finally got to the point at the end, short, okay, because she was late, where 4 Democrat operatives were in the back waving their hands saying this has to end. They realized that she was making a fool of herself and didn't want it to go forward. The country's in sad shape. We have TDA, the Venezuelan gang, running around like crazy. I guess now San Antonio is talking about them taking over apartment complexes there. We've got MS-13 all over the place. Every morning, as I've said many times, you open up the news and there's another story about somebody being raped, somebody being killed by some illegal. And you go, okay, where's the most dangerous place in the United States? Is it New York City? Is it the south side of Chicago? Is it Aurora, Colorado? Is it San Antonio? Last night at about 5:45 Eastern, the most dangerous place in the United States was in the limousine that Kamala Harris was in. The people that are her handlers probably took a bludgeoning from her, because of course it couldn't be her fault that her interview went so atrociously, because she has no policies, she has no scruples, she has no morals, she has no integrity. That's not a partisan comment. Those are things that were proven last night. The one thing I was shocked that she didn't bring up last night was Project 2025, because she loves that lie for a talking point. I was dumbfounded that she didn't pull that one out. But like I said, she had to have the suckers and losers hoax in there. It was funny watching the spin afterwards, picking up what MSNBC and CNN said, that how she owned Brett Baer. No, that she completely lost that argument when she made the comment. She said, I want to have a conversation here during the interview. In a conversation, the definition is two people talking. If you go back and watch this, she tried to talk over Brett Baer constantly. An interview is supposed to be very simple. Somebody asks a question, you answer, they follow up with the question. Wasn't how it worked. He asked a question, she came up with some bizarre answer that had nothing to do with the question, and when he tried to redirect her to the point, she'd talk over him. That's not a conversation. That's how a prosecutor would work without a judge to keep them under control. This is the problem. If she gets elected, there is no judge to keep her under control. She wants to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. The guilty party, or the accused party at least, are the people of the United States. And trust me, if she's elected, she's not going to be worried about being the judge or the jury. But boy, does she want to be the executioner. Pinball out.